Hey guys, welcome to the temporary Page Chaser headquarters, aka my couch. Like many of you, we are in work from home mode, and so you'll be seeing a little bit more of me on my couch. You may see Eric pop in with a video about books from his home. So we're just going to keep chatting with you guys. There's a lot of great books out there if you need ways to stay entertained or just looking for something different that you want to jump into. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about the June Boys. This is a novel that we've been talking about as our book of the month and promoting it. This is by Court Stevens. She actually wrote a blog for us yesterday, which I absolutely loved. She's an incredible writer. Just in general, I read that post that she wrote and was like, I want more. She's so great. And just very encouraging person as well to take a story like this and just turn it on its head and make it an encouraging story. So this, again, we've talked about how amazing this beautiful cover is. I just keep staring at it. But The June Boys is a young adult novel that centers around this serial kidnapper called the Gemini Thief. And so this is kind of a small town crime situation. And this has been something that's been occurring historically in this town for a number of years. And so the Gemini Thief takes 3 boys every summer from June 1st to June 30th the following year. So for 13 months, these 3 boys have been stolen, moved around, hidden, but they've been taken care of, but their captor is always wearing a mask, so they don't know who he is, where they've been, they don't know where they've traveled, they just have no idea. Basically kept in a dark hole. So at the end of those 13 months, they're always let free. And so this pattern exists, but the town has not been able to really make a lot of progress on getting a suspect for this. And so we start the story with our protagonist named Thea, and she basically gets involved because the pattern of the Gemini Thief suddenly has been changing, and it's suddenly become very personal for her because her cousin Alice, who she's very close with, a very good friend with, he goes missing. And so in that situation, he would actually be the 4th boy of that year who'd be taken. And so they don't know, was he taken by the Gemini Thief or was he kidnapped by somebody else? Did he run off? They don't know because it's a break in the pattern. And so Thea starts getting involved and starts doing her own investigation. And she's a high schooler, and so she's just been digging into it because she's got this personal connection now. And it also, there's a break in the pattern at the beginning of this book where one of the boys does not turn out okay. He actually gets killed, and they find his body somewhere. And so all of a sudden, you know, if it wasn't urgent enough before to catch this guy, it's extremely urgent because all of a sudden people are getting killed and they don't know what's going on. And so Thea starts digging into it, and the other bombshell that she's having to deal with is suspicions that her father might be the Gemini Thief or related to him. And so she's going through in her mind all of the strange things that he's ever done. He actually has this big project, which is Delacroix, that's their last name, Delacroix Castle, and he's been building a castle. And so he has this weird history of doing secretive things. He didn't tell his daughter Thea about the castle for like 10 years. He would just go off on these mountain adventures or make excuses of visiting other people, and he would be gone just building his castle. And so Thea starts thinking, you know, that was really weird. Who just has a secret castle project? And so she's really struggling internally with, who are you? Who is my father? Is everything I know about him a lie? Is he a darker character than I thought he was? And so she's really struggling to figure that out. And so this is a really fascinating story. There's a lot of really good character development. I love the way that Court talks about relationships with friendships and with family and just kind of that internal struggle. And I think a lot of us can kind of relate to the idea of somebody that we're very close to not being who we thought that they were, or us not being who we thought we were, and our identity related to them. But I also wanted to just read a little section from the very beginning of this. book. So this isn't even chapter 1. This is the prologue, which is just called Sage Advice. You don't owe your truths to everyone. Those were my father's exact words. There were upside-down spoons in our mouths, ice cream thawing on our tongues. The hard rock maple table held our elbows. It was midnight and I smelled like Johnson & Johnson. Dad tapped his watch and gave me the inevitable, "You should have been asleep hours ago. I'll probably be a terrible father," grimace. Trouble was, my new classmates at Wildwood Elementary were going to wonder about my mother. Dad spoke around a handful of mint chocolate chip. "Don't tell them anything," he said. When I argued that they'd ask, they'd definitely ask. We swapped bowls and he shrugged. Not like my question didn't matter, more like people asking didn't. I remember his lip curling into my favorite smirk and pink dribbles of Neapolitan clinging to his mustache. I remember river dance sounds as he clacked the spoon between his bottom and top teeth. Then the precise shape of his lips saying my name, Thea, and I remember what came after. He shoved the bowl toward the lazy Susan and placed his hand over my eyes. "I want you to picture a basement," he said. He gave my imagination time to populate the darkness, to spot the blackish-green mold clinging to the plaster, hear the boiler gurgling in the corner, hang a single raw bulb from the ceiling. His fingers smelled like sugar. "Now," he said, "take all of your favorite truths and secrets, the things you're not sure about, the things you love most in the world, and put them down there." Almost as an afterthought, he added, "Where they'll be safe." "Like you letting me stay up past bedtime?" I peeked between his fingers. "Definitely," he winked. "And tough stuff too, like Mom leaving." I spotted a momentary wave of regret before he said, "Whatever, whoever you want. When that's done, lock the door." His face grew animated, and he explained that his basement had an ancient door with a cool skeleton key. "Like at Nana's old house in Nashville?" I wanted to know. "Yes, like at Nana's old house." Then he said something that's wedged in my memory. "Imagine there are only 3 keys to the basement, and the people with keys, they get to know about Mom. Everyone else gets a shrug." Do I lie? He parted the hair on my forehead and planted a kiss along my worry wrinkle. "Only if you're desperate." That was 2001. The Gemini thief kidnapped the first crop of boys that year. So that is just a little sample chapter from the very beginning of this book. And that takes place, that's sort of a memory of Thea of when she was a kid, and something that she reflects on often throughout this book as she's trying to figure out who she is and who her father is. And so that's just a good taste of the kind of writing style that Court has, and I just love the way that she describes things in a very unique way, but always just paints an incredible picture in my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly the perfect way to describe that. We've also got a giveaway going on our Instagram. You can go check that out and enter to win a beautiful hardcover copy of this book. If you can't get your hands on a physical copy, definitely check out the audiobook. You can get that on Audible or really anywhere you can get audiobooks. And the audiobook is incredible. Another good way to multitask if you got little ones around, or if you just have other things that you need to do around the house. That's a great way to take this story in as well. So check out the June Boys. Let us know what you guys think and tell us what you're reading. We'll see you next time. Bye.